Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So nice to be on here this evening. Um, I know that I'm a spirit medium and I'm here. This is my first time actually on the channel myself. I did guest with Bill Hughes before, but this is my first evening with spirit on here. So I do hope you all enjoy. It is so nice to be doing this work anywhere, but obviously I loved doing this before when I was on, so for me to be back on, it's my absolute pleasure. I hope you're all doing fine as well. Just before we get started, because some of you might not know me, might not know my work at this point in time, like I said, my name is Karen Docherty. I am based in Scotland in the UK, and I have been doing this work for such a long time. I can't even remember really, the exact amount of years, or but it's over 15 anyway. We'll put it that way. I absolutely love working with spirit, and although there are many different ways to work, doing psychic work and spirit work, mediumship, this evening is going to be about those who have crossed over. I mainly work in the UK and overseas. Obviously, with the way things have been recently, everything's been online, but still a pleasure to meet people online all of the time as well. And my website is www.kdmedium.com. So if you do want to check out, who I am, what I'm about, you're quite welcome to do so. And I know that my Facebook page is there as well, and that is Karen Docherty, Medium and Mentor. So you're quite welcome to join me on any of these, but I'm glad you're joining me here tonight. So I think we can do some hellos at this point in time and see who's all on. So let's just see who's on. So we have Benny. Hi, Benny. So nice to see you on, and you're saying hi to everyone, which is really nice. Always like a bit of a community spirit with this. Joanne Lewis, first time seeing me, Joanne. Thank you so much for joining me. And a nice bouquet of flowers there as well on your comment, which is so lovely. Nicola Humphreys, evening to you, and you're again saying evening to everyone else as well. I know that if you're joining me this evening and this is a regular thing for you, you might know one another, or it might be community, a kind of community going on, which is just wonderful. Kelly Williams, hi Kelly, lovely to see you on here as well. You can also all tell me where you're from, where you're based as well. It's quite nice to see the different areas. Tony, good evening, Tony. A nice hand wave there, right back at you as well. And Heather Green, hello to you as well. I think, with not doing this myself before, obviously I don't know where you're all based and which parts of the UK you're in. You might be overseas as well. So so nice to see so many people from different areas as well. Stephen Goodwin, lovely picture there, Stephen. I love that picture you put up there of your lovely dog. Thank you for joining us. And Sunny, evening to you, Sunny. Um, and Marion Dunlop, nice to see you as well, Marion. So many of you coming on. I think there are quite a few. Holly Johnston, good evening. Love hearts, butterflies, my favourite things as well, Holly. And Alison Barton, evening all as well. Terry Wall, good evening, Karen, Richard, and everyone. So it's like a little family here, isn't it? And I'm getting to know that as well, which is really nice too. And Alexander Dunn, Alec, nice to see you on here, Alec, as well. And Norma McIntosh, evening all is well. I'm recognising a couple of names coming over from in my area as well, so it's nice to see you joining me on here. Mary Dixie, good evening, Karen and Richard. Good evening to you, Mary, and Jane G. Hello, Karen, Richard, and everyone. And Abby Donaldson, again, more love hearts. Nice to see you on here as well, Abby. So how I work. Yes, can you hear me now? I'm not sure. Yep. So I think we're having a bit of a connection problem. Hopefully not to the spirit side, just technology. So bear with me if that happens again. I am getting good advice from Richard here in my ear, so I will know when that happens. But bear with me as long as you can hear me now. Sue, I don't know how to pronounce your surname, Sue, but I'm sure it's quite lovely. And Shannon Bryan, you're in Canada. How lovely. Lots of love hearts there as well, Shannon. Thanks for joining us. Um, Serenity Medium Anthony, good evening, Anthony. So nice to see another medium coming on as well. You'll know the work, you know what it's all about as well. And Roz, hello Roz, nice to see you too. Love your sparkles on your picture, Roz. Deirdre McCabe, hello from Ireland. Thank you for sharing that as well. Deirdre, not too far away from me. And Janice, hi, first time watching you, Canwell. It's lovely to see you on here, Janice, as well. Thank you so much for joining me and just taking part in this evening as well. And Ruth Townsend, lots of love hearts there from you, Ruth, as well. I'm sending them right back to you as well, Ruth. Thanks so much. So I think if you can all still hear me, I can start to talk about my work and let you know what's going to take place this evening. Claire, I can see you jumping up there. Hi from St Cyrus, which isn't too far from me at all, Claire. So thank you for joining me as well. So this evening, what I'm going to be doing is connecting with those in the spirit side, those that have crossed over, just to make a connection on your behalf and their behalf. I always like to say on their behalf because obviously my work as a medium is about bringing a voice forward for them from the spirit side to you so that they can relay that information to you and that love. Mediumship is really mainly about providing that evidence and giving you the evidence that's needed to prove that the love is eternal, the bond is eternal, and once we are finished on this earth and go over to spirit, we still live on and are able to bring that love forward. So that is exactly what I am hoping that happens tonight. As a medium, we can never guarantee things, but I'm quite sure your lovely people will be here to join in the evening. Can I just check if the sound's still okay? Yep, that's okay. So with that, the way that I'm going to do this is I am just going to connect with those in spirit first, bring forward that evidence, give you what I'm getting, and then I know that I will receive the comments on screen of the people that can possibly take that information. I will look to verify that information. So I know that if you've been on this channel before, you will know how this works in giving the yes, no, or you don't know. I always like to say if you have to say no, please do say no, because this isn't an exact science and it really needs to be understood. The information has to be understood. I wouldn't like to leave anyone with information that they weren't sure about. So if you can give that verification on the screen, I will see that and we can work from there. Now, with there being an audience as such, there might be with. If that happens, I will know from the ones who are replying who I'm with. So please still, if you see that I'm starting to talk with someone and starting to give information to a recipient, please don't worry. If you can understand, please still make your comments because it might be that I'm with you. And if I don't know you're there, then I can't bring that information to you. So don't worry about interrupting on that level. And we shall see what happens. So I think, just as I'm working here, I think I'm just getting ready to start. I can feel spirit coming in, so I think we're good to go, if that's okay. Okay, so let me just see who I've got coming in first of all, and we'll see. So I know I'm very aware of a lovely lady coming forward. Now, as I link with this lady, I feel that she's mum for the person that I'm looking for. So this is a mother that I have in the spirit side. Now, as I connect with this lovely mum in the spirit world, I know that she makes me aware that she was possibly into her 80s when she passed to the spirit side. I do feel that aside of, you know, what age brings normally, I do feel that as she shows me this, she is making me feel like she did spend quite some time in and out of hospital. And I do feel like there was, maybe for the last 7 or 8 months, there definitely would have been a deterioration that was evident there to the family as well. She's a lady that wouldn't like to depend on people. She's very self-sufficient and very independent, very strong-willed and strong-minded. And I do feel she's talking about two girls, two daughters, two girls that she would be close to. So the information that I'm bringing just now is just really to open that link up. So if you do understand any of that, if you would just comment so that I can see that you're there before I further give evidence. I don't like to do that until I have my recipient. So let me go over what I've got again. Lovely lady in spirit, definitely feels she's a mother to the person that I'm looking for here. So with that, I should say it could be mother-in-law or someone who's very maternal towards the recipient that I'm looking for. Now I can sense with her that she talks of two girls, two females that she would be very close to, and I also know that there was deterioration for her. I actually now know that there was a problem with either one of her legs or her hip, but I know that there was a mobility problem for this lady as well. Now I can see with Megan that you feel that this could be comments, and we can see where we go from there. But Megan, if you could let me know if you understand everything, that would be wonderful. And Marion, sounds like your mum. If you could comment, Marion, to tell me whether it all makes sense, because I would rather know where the stronger link was. Marion, when you commented, I did feel that connection to you. So please comment to tell me whether it all makes sense. The two females or two girls must make sense as well. Yvonne, I know you're saying that resonates with you as well. Yvonne, if you could verify if it would be mum for you as well, because it's mum that I've got here. And Alison Barton, you can take this so far as well. Alison, if that was for mum, if you can also comment. So while I'm waiting on, there's quite a lot taken it. Okay, so let me just go over. I just want to make the information very clear, because I know although there's quite a few taking it, it has to pertain to one person. So let me just go over the information again. I've got mum in the spirit side. I feel as if she was up towards her 80s when she passes. So I don't know if you can all still take that, but I feel as if I'm going up towards my 80s when she passed. I also feel as if there would be a mobility problem, hip or leg. I feel became an issue for this lady. Although I do feel very independent with her and self-sufficient, I still feel that that really hampered her coming towards the end of her life. But I do know that she was in and out of hospital as well. Now there might be a name, Alison, I can see that you put for your mum. There might be a name like Jill that would also connect. Jill seems to connect in as well. So it doesn't have to be Jill that I'm looking for here tonight, but the name Jill I feel would also connect. So I know I've put in a couple of extra things there as well, so I need to find my recipient before I just continue with this information. So Alison, you're saying that everything makes sense for your mum. The other people that commented, if you can comment back again. Megan can take it. Nan has mobility problems. She was 87 when she passed. Megan, would she feel like a mum to you, sweetheart? Because although I can see that Nan is also maternal linked, she did make me feel like she was more of a hands-on mum. So if you could let me know, Megan, if that would also make sense. And you can't take Jill. Okay, that's fine. Other people can't take Jill. This is what will separate it for sure. That name Jill, Gillian has to come. Jill, Marion, Jill is your middle name. Now Marion, can you understand everything else that I have given? So you understand mum in the spirit side, you understand the mobility problems that I'm talking about, you understand the hospital visits or stays as well, and the age. You're under 88. That's fine, Marion. So can I work with you, Marion, please? Um, Hip problem, okay. So, Marion, let me ask, with your mum, sweetheart, would you understand where she had to stay in hospital? Because I feel that with this lady I've got here, there was was evident that she was deteriorating, I still feel like she would fight things, or she would feel very strong in the way she would present herself. But I do feel you were aware that she was becoming more frail, or there was a deterioration. Would that make sense for you, Marion, for mum? Let me just see when this comment comes in, just to definitely verify that I am with the right recipient for this. Um, and let me see, it might just take a few moments just to get those comments in, so just bear with us while we do this, just to again make sure. She's a very, I was going to say feisty. I don't even know if that's just a Scottish word, but I see there's Wendy that came up as well. Mobility, two girls. I actually feel good with Marion. I wonder if I can. Yeah, she was in hospital. Okay, Marion. So I'm going to work with you, sweetheart. I was just about to say that I feel that you your mum's then shouldn't be herself with things, but she would still try to let the family know she was okay. She didn't need to depend on people, even though she did. And I know that you were there. Does that make sense to you, Marion, as well? Um, I also feel with your mum too, that it was important for your mum to be around her family. She's very family orientated. So she didn't want to be in hospital. She didn't want to be away from the family for too long. And she makes me feel like visitors did come and go quite a bit as well, Marion. So it wasn't just yourself, there was other family members that would come and go, although I do feel you were the main person around her as well. So let me see if this makes sense for you, Marion, before I just continue to give you information. Sometimes we just have to wait on the comments coming in to make sure the information is correct. So I know that you said she was frail, Marion. Very much so. Okay, Marion, thank you for that verification there as well. Marion, I also do feel as your mum gives me that she is very much aware how much you were around her, and I do feel like you were there at our last moments, or there at our last days. I kind of am feeling with it as well. She was aware that she kind of um, went into the sleep state more. I feel that she knows that people are there and in and out, but she's not she knew she was all right, and that she would be all right. So I know that you're very spiritual in your belief. So let me know if that makes sense for you, Marion, as well. I'm just going to keep giving you information. I'm hoping I'm not working too fast for you, Marion, as well. But I know that there's also a boy, a younger boy, that she wants to bring into this as well. It might be a grandson, it might be, just on a younger generation. So not on your generation, but maybe a next generation down, where I feel that she would talk about the boy. And she loved to listen to the family chat, and she loved to listen to the children, and she was just in her element when she was in that position. So let me see if this all makes sense to you, Marion. If you can comment, I'm sure you are already, just to let me know before I go on to the next part of this reading for you as well. She's talking about so much, Marion. I think that that's the way your mum is. She just keeps the chat going, and keeps giving me the information. Lost connection. Grandson, yes. Sorry, technology. We can't control that, can we? But thank you, Marion, for verifying that. I was also saying, probably when we lost connection, that your mum was always chatty to the children. She loved the children being around her. She liked to know what was going on. I feel that she sees, she shows me where there might have been a cat that would come in and out as well. So either her home or your home, there must be a cat that she would talk about as well. She just makes me very aware of that. And she liked her home comforts, but she was old fashioned in that way, where she would like her own things around her, like cushions or pillows, or just her own home comforts, Marion. So let me know if that also makes sense to you, sweetheart, as well. Or really? Okay. So, Mary Lowe, I know that you're understanding this information as well. And it might be that your mum is also coming into this as well. It sometimes can happen when there's group readings going on. So just keep listening in, Mary, also, and we'll see if I end up jumping to you as well. So, Marion, you said yes, definitely your cat. That makes sense. I feel like your mum's around your home. I feel that she's letting you know she's around your home. Now, she's also making me aware of October. So I know that I'm round about the October, round about the 20th, 23rd of October as well, where I feel there would be a birthday or an anniversary or passing around that date. So around 20th October, 23rd October, round about there. So Mary, if you can understand that, or Marion, if you can understand that, you can let me know. Marion, I see that she did love her home comforts. That is absolutely amazing, because that is what she's showing me. And I do feel with your mum that she still has her home comforts. That's what she enjoys. She lives a very simple life. She's not materialistic, Marion. She just wants her family around her. She talked about a house move as well, Marion. So I feel like somebody's either just upped and moved, or there's a definite feeling of repositioning a home for someone. So definitely movement there, and I feel that she's talking about that in the now. So this would be something that's currently going on for someone within the family. So again, if you can verify that for me in the comments, that would be wonderful as well. I'm just going to listen to your mum. She's also talking about yes, anniversary and her wedding anniversary. Perfect, Marion. Thank you for that. Your mum's also your house move. That's fine. Your mum's also making me aware of someone who would have struggled with alcohol, Marion. So I feel like there's a gentleman in the spirit side who would have struggled with alcohol, or would have had, you know, yeah, I'd say there was a bit of a struggle going on there. I was just listening there. I can smell the alcohol very strongly. So that might be somebody connected with your mum. It might be somebody connected with family that she's seen in the spirit side. So again, you can let me know if that would make sense. And just before, I know I can't stay with you all night, and I know that it takes time for comments to come back in, but I honestly know that your mum is letting you know. She puts her hands upon your tummy, so I feel like there's a reason for that. It's a healing that she's bringing there. It might just be to settle things down for you, or it might be that there's actually a stomach issue there that you're aware of. Please know this will never be a prediction. I'm not a medical doctor. There's no prediction, but I feel that she's making me aware of that action. So maybe you can let me know as well, Marion, if that makes sense to you also. I can take that. That's oh, your ex. Okay, Marion, that makes sense as well. Um, your mum's aware that things have never been easy for quite a little while, and she understands that you're a very powerful person who pushes forward, Marion. She's very proud of you, honestly. She's very proud of the family. I know that her life wasn't all that easy either. I can feel that with her. So she understands trials and tribulations in life, but just know that she is definitely with you. She walks with you. She walks with the family as well, Marion. And just before I leave you, sweetheart, I'm also, your mum's also talking about someone who's either going to university or has been questioning university. Now, I'm unsure if they're already there and they're questioning their choice to come away, or they are choosing to go to university, but I know that she's super excited about that as well. So I hope you can understand. I think your mum would stay here all night, Marion, and just chat away. Just give it. I'm trying to break away to go into my next one. She's still giving me information as well. If I'm still with you, Australia might make sense to you as well, Marion. So there's an Australian link. I might have broken away though, because in my mind, with the intention, I tried to come away. So let me know if Australia makes sense to you as well, Marion, before I can move forward. I'm so glad you were able to take the information tonight, Marion, and I know that Mary Lowe, you could take a lot of it as well. Please see that your mum's possibly try to come in as well because there's similarities which can sometimes happen. But Marion, thank you for your verification. Thank you for accepting your mum's love. I know that you always would do. Yes, her great grandson. Okay, Marion, thank you so much. Just putting a ring on my finger here, Marion, just as I'm trying to leave. So you must have your mum's ring because I can feel that very strongly. Definitely a ring here that belongs to your mum, and I feel that you must have that ring. So with that, I will thank you so much for working with me. I know that I've got a busy evening ahead, so let me just move on to the next one, and I will thank your mum for popping in as well, Marion. Thank you so, so much. Okay. Now, straight away, this is like a revolving door sometimes. As soon as you open up to spirit, the next one just pops in, ready to go. Um, as I make my link with the next person, I know that it's a gentleman I'm working with. I also feel as soon as I link with him, there's a feeling of the sea or boats or ships with this gentleman. So I know that there's a definite feel, maybe the navy or working on boats. I can feel that very much. I feel with him like he's a proper, he's a proper man's man, getting on with things, doing the work that needs doing, and sees it as his job and his duty to do that for his family as well. I will say that I feel quite grumpy with him at times. I feel that he might not have a lot of patience at times for other things in life, but I definitely feel that he loves his family, and I know that to me he feels like father for someone as he's coming in here right now. I feel like he's dad for someone. And I'm just wondering if there was a break in a relationship. So it's almost like a break in his relationship or a break in the relationship with his family. I'm feeling a little bit of a distance there. So I know that that's quick information. So let me just repeat. I've got a gentleman here. To me feels like father. I feel as if there was a family conflict or a break in a relationship for this man. I know that I get to be at sea with him or on boats or ships, and I feel like that was important to him. And I also know that he wasn't always that tolerant in life as well about some things. Now, Natalie Sturrock, my dad worked in the shipyard when he was younger. Natalie, I don't know if you can actually verify for me if he actually worked on the ships or on the boats as well. If you could let me know, that would be lovely. Shannon, your granddad was in the Navy. Thank you for answering, Shannon. What I would need for people that want to verify the information, if you could tell me if the break in the family or break in a relationship would make sense as well, because for me that's a very prominent part of the information the gentleman's bringing as well. Heidi Spicer, lost a friend yesterday, merchant navy, man's man, lovely soul. Heidi, could you also let me know if there would be a conflict in his family or a difficulty with his family as well, with his son maybe? So I feel that the person I'm looking for, there's a conflict with this man I've got here. There's a conflict I feel with a son or a break in the relationship with his son. So again, I'll just quickly recap so that you know the information. Feels like father to me. So Heidi, I know that you're saying he's a friend, and that's okay because it might be that he's father to someone and still needs to make that contact. So I've got a man here, feels like a father, has a family conflict before he passes or within his lifetime. Feel that he works at sea on some level, boats, ships, works away. Definitely feel like he's a really hard working man, but very closed in some level, so very close minded or is frustrated with some aspects of life. Jennifer Weir Lawrence, my dad was a chef in the Navy and been away from the whole family for years. Okay, Jennifer. Now, when you say away from the loads of people coming in here as well. Okay. So, I've got Vicky right as well. Granddad, we didn't speak for 10 years, not tolerant. Okay, and your dad was in the Navy. Let me just see where I feel I'm pulled. That might be a little bit easier. Heidi, your friend was divorced. Okay. Heidi, I don't feel I'm with you, sweetheart, but thank you so much for adding your comments. I feel like your friend would be of a different temperament than the man that I've got here. So it might just be that your friend's just come in there just to let me know that, but thank you. Helen Ebden, definitely ones that are commenting to feel that I'm with you. I feel it's a son that he's talking about, like he didn't speak with a son or there was a conflict with a son. Helen, I can take all of this. My dad's first son was not in his life. Okay, Helen, thank you. Now that feels like a good link for me, so breaking the relationship is me. Helen, can I work with you? Let me see where this goes. Everyone else obviously will be listening as well, but let me just see where we can take this. So this was father for you, Helen, and I feel that as a link with your dad, definitely there's an intolerance there, sweetheart. There's an intolerance for other people's ways, or maybe that he just closed off if it wasn't his way, or he couldn't face things. I know that he had emotions, and I know that he was an emotional person, but I feel like he would rather close them off than deal with them. That's what I'm feeling, Helen. So if you could let me know if that makes sense. Stephen Goodwin, I know, sounds like your dad. He was a Marine, fell out with them for some time over my brother. Stephen, if you could listen in, I do feel I've made my link with Helen, but if you could listen in anyway, Stephen, just in case I again make that jump. Sometimes that can happen when I address you and when I give your name. So I'll work with Helen just at this point in time. Helen, I feel that you did try with your dad, or you did try to have that relationship at times with your father, but I just feel like the situation was so difficult. I know that you already told me that his first son wasn't in his life, and I appreciate that and I understand that, and that feels right that you've said that, and you're saying yes, very much so. But Helen, your love for your dad was always there, and your dad's very aware of that, sweetheart. And I need you to know that, because I don't feel that your father really got the chance maybe to tell you that, or he just wouldn't open up emotionally with that information. So please know that your dad's here because he loves you, Helen, and because he wants to bring that forward for you. I'm understanding from your dad that there was a lot of healing that needed to take place family wise, so for yourself, but maybe for others as well. And sometimes, and I already know, Helen, that your dad's making me feel that some people closed the door on it quite a while, while your dad was here, and just never re-looked at it. But I always feel like you felt the missing link, or you wished things were very different. So let me know if that makes sense for you as well, Helen. Now, your dad, aside of that kind of grumpiness, we'll call it, for want of a better way, and intolerance, whichever way, frustration. I feel with your dad, Helen, you said it was very hard at first, absolutely. But I feel with your dad as well that he did have a good humour about him. And when he was in his element, he was in his element, and I feel like he brought good things to life and good things to people around him as well. I honestly feel that your dad showing me that he was just incapable of showing the emotion the way that he wished he could have. I really honestly feel that. I'm not saying with his first son it might have just been as easy as that, but I honestly do know that he is sorry about certain elements in his life as well, and things, certain ways things went. Now, with his first son, Helen, um, I'm wondering if that was from a different relationship, because I feel like again he's shown me this break, and I know that you're saying he was grumpy. That's correct. And we'll have to be honest, don't we? And the people from the spirit side are always honest and show how they truly were. So that is what he shows me. But I'm wondering, Helen, just verify for me if the first son was from a different relationship, because I feel like there's a bigger distance there, as he shows me that as well. Yes, your dad was very funny, absolutely. That's the way I get him to be as he's joining me now, and he's so much more relaxed as he's working with me now. He's a good looking man as well, Helen, and I know that I have to say that because he makes me feel that he's very handsome. I sometimes see them very clearly, and other times they just give me the feeling. And I'm having it a bit of both ways with your father. I can see certain glimpses, and then he's letting me know that in his day, he was a handsome man as well. And I think in his humour he brings that in as well, Helen. Yes, son was from the first marriage. That makes complete sense. And different relationships. Thank you. So yeah, your dad is definitely bigging himself up here in a funny way and giving me a little bit of that humour that I can feel as well. He did learn after that first relationship, that first marriage, Helen. He did learn some things, and it did take time for your dad. And he's saying, that you're saying he would say that he's handsome. That's right. He did. He was a slow learner, as he would put it, emotionally. He was a slow learner on that front. But he tried his best and you appreciated that. Now, Helen, I have to say to you as well, I know you didn't get a final goodbye with your father. I feel as if that opportunity was lost, or you feel like you wished you'd seen him that one last time when he passed away. He's not worried about that at all. It's the way your dad lived his life. He was away for a lot of his life, and he's saying not to worry about that at all. It was the way it was, and it happened that way. Now, the way that he shows me that there was a speed to what happened with your dad, although I have to say he wasn't 100% in good health, so it wasn't like a sudden passing, but I do feel there was a lead up to that, but it happened quite rapidly, Helen. So again, let me know. I'll watch for your comment coming in to see if that makes sense for you as well, Helen. You know, he's doing this, it's almost like nudging me, Helen, there to say, you know, she's had it tough. So he's letting me know, Helen, that you haven't had it easy either emotionally, and I know that you count yourself as very, very blessed and see the positives in life. That your dad is just letting you know that he is your moral support from where he is, and that he is giving guidance, showing guidance in his way. You know, he's laughing because he wouldn't have believed in this spirit stuff when he was here. Like, this would not be his thing, I feel, you know, and he's laughing in a way of saying, imagine it coming like this. Imagine me talking through a medium. So he's having a little chuckle at that, but he does know that you speak to him daily, Helen. So I'll let you catch up with all that because the information's coming quite quickly, passed over so quickly. That makes sense, Helen, for the way that you showed me that as well. Let me know if I was correct in saying that he wouldn't have believed in spirit, or he wouldn't have at least spoken about this mediumship thing, because he is listening to you and you are spiritual and he knows that you believe that he's there. No very bad luck. I'm not sure what part that pertains to. I will catch up. Sometimes when I'm getting it, it's like it comes in very quickly. But as long as it's all making sense to you, Helen, then that's the main thing. He would not believe. Absolutely. So he does obviously know where he is. He is in a good place, Helen. He wants you to know that he's looking out for you and that he is around you. And I think that bad luck comment was maybe for you, saying that things have been tough for you. So please know that he is giving you the guidance as and when he can as well. But you know, the way that I said he worked away, or he liked his time away and all the rest of it, that's the way he wants you to think of him, that he's away doing his thing, he's still around in the background, he hasn't travelled very far away from you at all, Helen. And things that didn't resolve in life when he was here will resolve at some point, sweetheart, so don't you worry about these things. Just take care of yourself. And that's what he wants you to do. There's 3 children. It's like he's saying 3 children. So I don't know if that's for you, Helen, 3 children for you, 3 children for your father, but 3 children come into it as well. I feel like he's around the 3 children. Okay, so hopefully you will be able to take that as well. But take his love, know that he's there, know that he walks with you and that he does hear you very much, Helen. And don't you worry about getting caught up in things that were either before your time or not, you weren't able to control. He's saying just things are just as they're supposed to be, and he's working on himself in the spirit side as well. So hopefully that all makes sense to you, Helen. Thank you so much for working with me, allowing me to work with your dad as well. I certainly know your father had his own way of speaking or his own way of saying things. I can hear him, but I know that he's delighted he got to come in. So we'll thank him for that as well, Helen. Thank you so much. Okay, so I can see your comment now, Helen. You had a brother and sister, so 3 of you. Yeah, that makes complete sense. So thank you for that as well. Okay, so let me just move on. Natalie Sturrock, I see this is your first time here. Lovely to see you on here, Natalie. So nice for people, especially for people coming on all the time, but for their first time as well. It's so nice because it really is providing a platform for the spirit world. Thank you for joining me, Natalie. Greetings from Anchorage, Alaska. Well, Betty, so lovely to see you, Betty. Isn't it amazing how we can all connect and it's so far away? So there's distance there, but not really when we're all sitting doing this and connecting. Jade Louise Dundee, not too far from me, Jade, just not even 30 minutes away. Jade, thank you for coming on here as well. Mary Dixie, lovely message for Helen. Yes, absolutely, Mary. Thank you for saying that, because one of the things that I love is how we all want the best for someone else and want them to get what they need. And it's not just about us, it's about everyone as a community, like I said. So thank you, Mary. Shannon Carlin, great message. Thank you, Shannon. Thanks for that as well. And, you know, again, sharing in that sentiment for Helen as well is really, really lovely. Alana Reagan, first time here. Alana, nice to see you on here as well. Hopefully you will enjoy the evening, enjoy what takes place here as well, Alana. So thanks for coming on as well. Now, I think I'm going to move on and do a few more connections, we'll call it. Always, you know, if you see me working, you will always see that I go a little bit vague, just as I'm feeling out to the spirit side. It's almost like switching your mind from one world to the next. So there's that little lull in between. So I am still with you, but I'm also with them as well. So let me see who I've got coming in. So I've got this lovely lady coming in. As she comes in, she is full of energy, it's almost like she is, you know, jumping about here trying to get my attention. I can feel with her that I wonder if she's a friend for someone rather than family, or possibly sister. But I feel with this lady as she comes in that she was the life and soul of the party. I can feel that whenever you've seen this lady, she would leave you feeling better about things in her own way. She's very positive. I'm not saying that she didn't complain about life or didn't, you know, have her complaints in life, but definitely she would always try to see the positive side of things as well. Now, I can sense with her it was cancer that took her to the spirit side. I do feel it was quite a rare cancer, or rare at her age, because I definitely feel maybe only to be in her 30s, 40s. I think, as I said, 30s, she had a little smile to herself. So I'm maybe in towards her 40s more when she passed the spirit. So young to cross over, but definitely she took life on. You know, she took it on. She didn't let things slow her down until she couldn't help what had happened. So these are the first parts that I get for her. So looking for a friend or sister, a sisterly bond is probably more way of describing it. Definitely feel full of life. I know that the person I'm looking for also must have done charity work in her name, or raised funds in her memory or something like that, because she's making me feel that she's so amazed at the amount of people that came together. Now, Helen, you're saying that this could be your sister. If that makes sense, it could be. I thought I'd broken the link. So just listen in anyway, Helen, and I'll keep giving information. And if anyone else can understand, if they would come in as well. I did feel that link was broken, Helen, but that could just be because your sister had came in just a little bit after. So keep listening in, sweetheart, and we'll see where we go. So definitely, she keeps making me aware of this 30 though. So I know I've said that she's in her 40s, but this lady I've got makes me aware of, I don't know if there's the 30th of the month or something around the 30, or someone's just turned 30, but she's definitely making me aware of that as well as a work. Janice Guild, sounds like my sister. She had cancer in her 40s, loved dancing, loved having fun. Janice, that's exactly the way I feel this lady to be. Do you understand, Janice, that there would be a connection with 30th of the month, or someone turning 30 now in current times? So let me know, Janice. Sarah Burston, just lost a friend to cancer, 41, life and soul, very rare cancer. Okay, Sarah, if you can also have a think to see if 30 would come into it, the number 30. It could even be a door number, but I can see it quite clearly, so I have to give that as well. Mia Thomas, my nan died 36 with cancer, very bubbly. Okay, Mia, thank you also for giving me that information. So let me just sit for a little second and get more information, and we'll see. Janice, your wedding anniversary. Okay, just take a little sip of water. Helen, I see you said our youngest is 30 as well. Okay. Now, someone else had commented as well, Richard. There was someone in between that, and I felt a bit drawn there, but the name's gone now, so it's Sarah. It might be Sarah actually. Her girlfriend worked for a charity, and she's asked for people to donate in her memory. Okay, Sarah, do you understand everything I've given so far, sweetheart? I know that you already commented, but if you can comment again, because when you popped up before, um, we found out 30th of April she was going to be put on palliative care. Okay, Sarah, I think I'm with you, sweetheart. Okay, so if I can work with you, I'm just going to take some more water. Sometimes when spirit comes so close, it can make me experience some symptoms, so bear with me. Okay. You know, she would have a laugh with all of this. Like she really isn't taking things too seriously, not because she doesn't care about the emotions of things or the grief that was left behind, but just because her way and her view in life would definitely be to just move forward, everybody be okay. Um she doesn't want people to cry too hard for her, even though I know that they have and they will, because she was such a big part of life, and that is the way I feel about her. Now, you said that you found out on the 30th about the palliative care, and that would make sense. You would know, Sarah, that she wouldn't have wanted anyone to feel sorry for her, and I actually feel that the people who would get in to see her, it would be quite limited. So I wonder if she had said, right, when I get to a certain stage, it can only be family or it can only be the closest. Because she really didn't need a circus. She didn't want people to feel bad, and it was about her feeling for them. It wasn't about the other way around. So, Sarah, let me know if that makes sense as well. You've said about the donating in her memory as well, Sarah, and I feel like that's quite a big thing. And I know it's a thing that gets done nowadays. You know, people do donate to these causes, but I know that however that money is being donated, I feel like there are events or people talking about doing events that she would love as well. Sarah, you've said she's a massive part of our lives. Absolutely, and still is, Sarah, absolutely still is. And she's she's laughy and jokey as well. You know, she's definitely got this way about her of, you know, isn't this fun, me talking to you from here? And she's kind of got a bit of banter with her. And that would be her nature, so we don't change that. That's something that's always there. You said only one allowed until the 30th, then only two others. That makes sense. And that would be her choice, and I feel that that was her decision making and what people would know that she would want, and people respected that. She's so entirely grateful. Now, this is a bit random, but would you know if she loved Elvis, or if she talked about, or somebody here talks about going to Graceland, going or loves Elvis memorabilia or Elvis music, because she's showing me Graceland and everything now in front of me. So I'm hoping that makes sense somewhere. I know it's not Elvis I've got coming through, so don't want anyone to get excited. Um, but yeah, I know. I feel like that this is something that she would have loved. So you said she used to share events to raise money for charity. That makes complete sense. She's got such a caring heart. She's got such a caring soul, and she was. People have said her she was larger than life. She was bigger than this world. She was just made of something special, and she is so proud of that. But she never asked or looked for that attention. It was just something that came just because of who she is as a person. I'm waiting to see if you can understand this Elvis connection, Sarah, because you know, I don't. Oh, my daughter loves Elvis, as does my mum and my nan. I'm not sure, but can't ask her. Can't ask her mum, or can't ask her mum. She loves music. Sarah, if your daughter loves Elvis and your mum and your nan, it might be that you've been recently talking to them about Elvis, or they've been playing an Elvis song or something like that, and it might just be her way to say, I'm there, I was in your home, or I was listening to the conversation. So it could be something as simple as that. So don't worry about having to ask. Just see if that makes sense for you and your family as well. And it'll just be her way of proving that she's there. Um, I know that before she fell terribly ill, I feel like there was like a night out that you've all had, or an event or a celebration of some sort, where you can look back on photographs, or you can look back in memory and say that was a brilliant day or a brilliant night and we all had such an amazing time, and then things changed. So I don't know if you've been looking at the photographs regarding that, or you've been talking about a memory in regards to that, but she does make me feel like she's looking at that memory. So see if that makes sense as well, Sarah, for you, and I'm hoping that it will. Any photo that you see her on, she's telling me she would be smiling. And believe me, I know that there's another side to her where she could have a little bit of a flare up if she needed to, or she could put someone's like a very moralistic person and she likes things to be just the way they should be. So I know there's that side to her where things should have justice or things had to be fair. But she loves the goodness in life. So you've said here we have times and have been talking to my daughter about them. We planned to see her, then she got sick. Okay. So Sarah, know that she knows that you're talking about those times, okay, sweetheart, and she knows that you would have planned to see her. Sarah, straight away with that, I feel that she doesn't want you to worry about not seeing her or that it became too late to see her. She doesn't want you to worry about that. You were such a massive part of her life. So I know that you've said she was a massive part of yours, but you were a massive part of hers. And you said she would always be smiling, and that makes sense to me because that is the way she comes in here right now. She wouldn't want people to see her latterly, Sarah. I feel like she did have her pride and she did have that way about her that she wanted her dignity and that really mattered to her as well. And I think the people surrounding her knew that too. So she's saying thank you. She's blown you lots of kisses. And I know that she wants to bring those forward to you and everyone else that's part of her tribe, if you like. So you can maybe pass that on to everyone who knew her and loved her as well, Sarah. But don't be sad. She's saying, please don't be sad. Know that she's in a good place. Know that she wouldn't have been able to, she didn't want to fight an illness for years and years and years here. If it was going to be that way, it just had to be that way. She accepts that. She knows that she's missed and she misses people here too, but she is always with you all. Um, Thank you. I was hoping to get to the hospital but didn't have the chance, but she would have hated us seeing her in the end. Absolutely exactly what she said, Sarah. So you're both on the same page with things. Just don't be sad about it and don't be upset because you didn't get that last visit or that last time with her, because she is good where she is. And she's saying, and I'll be seeing you, I'll be around and you'll know that I'm there. So she's not going anywhere, sweetheart. You will feel her around you in your own home and things that you do going forward. I don't know if she has a sister, but I hear her saying sister. So if she does have a sister, you can maybe pass this on to her sister. If it's not her sister, I don't know if you have a sister, but I know I hear her saying sister as well. But blowing lots of kisses, Sarah. Thank you so much for working with me and allowing her to come through. She's like a whirlwind. She really is. And she's still got that level of energy where she is, if not more. So know that she is okay, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me just take a moment here to do let you all know what's taking place and let you all know what's going on the channel as well. So tomorrow afternoon we have Psychic Picnic with Jackie Robinson. That is tomorrow 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. So that will be lovely to come and take part in that as well. And it's via Zoom as well. So just on the channel via Zoom and come along and take part in that if you are free to do so. It would be lovely to see you all here. Special event tomorrow night, something different, psychic art and mediumship with Heidi and Sam. So this is a special here on the channel tomorrow night, 8 o'clock UK time. So again, if you're free to come along, there's so many different forms of mediumship, different ways of working psychically and mediumistically. So these events are amazing to watch and amazing to be part of. So do come along and join in with that as well tomorrow evening. And there's also a brand new show starting on Monday, and that 11s is with Deb, Monday at 11 a.m. And that's for readings, chat, and more. So all exciting stuff, everything that you need really, and to be part of as well. And that's via Zoom as well. So come along and see what that's all about too. I missed. Yep, and so obviously these are all events that are happening here on the channel. You've joined with me tonight. This is my first night by myself on here without being a guest on the show for someone else. So just in case you don't know about my work, you can look at my work on kdmedium.com. My name's Karen Docherty, my website's kdmedium.com, and my Facebook page, Karen Docherty, Medium and Mentor. It would be so lovely to have you join me, at my website, or subscribe to my website, and then you'll be notified of anything that I'm doing, like this lovely show tonight. So please do subscribe, and we'll keep in touch that way as well. You will not be bombarded with marketing. You will not be bombarded with things that you don't want to hear about. So you're more than welcome. Sarah, thank you so much. Really need this. It still hurts, but I know she is where she should be. I can't thank you enough. Has been struggling. Sarah, it happens for a reason, sweetheart. You came on here this evening for a reason. I know that we think that we control everything as human beings, but really, the spirit world are around us all the time, and they really are influencing us to come to these sort of things so that they can get their messages through. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. She will know how much you love her. I promise you that. Mia, you've done phenomenal, Karen. Thank you, Mia. That's such a lovely thing to say. It's my work and I love it, and I'm very passionate about it. And I just want to help through mediumship, help with grief, help let people know that there is another world and that we don't really die, as it were. So comments like that from yourself, Mia, really mean a lot. So thank you so much. Angie Meston, you amaze me always with your ability. Thank you, Angie. That's so lovely. So nice to see you on here as well. Thank you so much for your support and coming on here tonight too. Christine Campbell, you do amazing work, Karen. You're also lovely. You're also lovely to me. Thank you so much. I always say as well, the spirit side want this to happen, so they facilitate a lot of this as well. Lady Sage, good evening, Richard and Karen and everyone in the chat. Good evening to you as well. So nice to see you all. Okay, so message for you, Lady Sage, Pamela. Richard says, well done for today. I think that was the right message. Yeah, that's it. So you've got that little message there. See, Richard's delivering messages now as well. How good is this? So with that, what I will do is I will move on and see, because I know that time runs short so very quickly. So let me just see. Wendy Watson, hi from Australia. Well, hello to you, Wendy. So nice to see you on here. It always amazes me that there's people from all corners of the world that come on to these things. But so nice to see you on here, Wendy. Thank you so much. And Margaret Thompson, first time, you were amazing. Thank you, Margaret. Again, nice to see you back on. It is so appreciated, your support. It really is. So let me just see who I've got coming in next, because I want to work with this gentleman. I know that I'm aware of my time, and I know that with this man that comes in now, he makes me aware that he would have only been in his, I would say, late 20s when he passes to the spirit side. I feel with this man here that there was, I feel as if there was an addiction, an addiction with him. I do feel as if there were either drugs within his system, or that he had an addiction issue with drugs in the past. I know that when he passes to the spirit side, I do feel there would be questions of, not whether it was accidental, but I feel that there would be questions about his passing. So I know it was a shock passing. I know that people didn't expect it, but might I add as well that he makes me feel as if there definitely was a long history of mentally not being able to cope with things as well. So there was lots of things going on for him emotionally as well. Now, I'm just going to put that out there just right at this point. I'm going to say a quick hello to, I think it's Resha in South Africa. Thank you so much for joining me. I've just seen your comment coming up there. So I don't know who would understand this gentleman. Lacey Marr, you've said this sounds like my dad. Let me know if the age is correct. Lacey, I felt like he was in his 20s, late 20s perhaps, and I just felt like his life was very, difficult as well, and addiction issues had to come into it. Sammy, Haley, your friend. Okay, Sammy, thank you for giving me that as well. Let me just watch a few of the comments coming in. Audrey Restrict, my son was 23. Thank you, Audrey. I'm just clocking these as they come in, and you could take all of this. Okay, sweetheart. Let me just get a bit more information. You know, I know that tattoos are very prominent these days. I have them. You know, everyone has a tattoo, maybe, or maybe not everyone, but they're there. I feel like there's tattoos in connection with um, this man I've got. I don't even want to say man, and I don't mean that he's not, but I feel like he's just a younger, you know, this younger male who really was in the age that he was in, you know, would have or should have been enjoying his life, and it was so difficult for him. Lacey, you said you think this is definitely your dad. Lacey, could you let me know if he was 38? That's a bit older, sweetheart, than what I felt. So thank you, but I'm not saying it's not your father. Just let me keep going for a minute, because I felt like this man I had was only in his late 20s. Carol Harvey, you said your son was 24, not an addict, but cocaine played a part. Sweetheart, I think it was slightly more than that with the gentleman that I've got here. So I'm going to say no just at this point, but again, just keep listening in. I just want to make sure I get the right recipient. So let me just get a little bit more information for you all, and then we will take it from there. Margaret, my ex passed with drug overdose at 29. That age is correct. Margaret, I felt like late 20s, just as I made this connection, but I feel like this, Tony, right, you can take it all. Tony, would that be for a son for you, or someone who you looked upon like a son? Because I felt just as I went back in there that he was making me feel he needs to speak to someone who really cared for him, looked out for him, almost in a motherly way, or a parental way. So, Tony, if you could let me know if that makes sense. Lacey had a tattoo of my name on his chest beside his heart. Okay, sweetheart, um, let me just pause for a moment with that, just till I see, only because the age was different, but let me see, it might be me picking up the age wrong, so let me just take a moment with that, and we can see. Lacey, if I am with you, um, would you understand where there's a child in this world who's got his name? So there's a child here that either belongs to him or someone else in the family who would be named after him. So let me know if that makes sense, because if that makes sense, then I can see where I can go with that, even though the age was out. But let me just know that information when you can. So it's a name, his name, might be someone's name or middle name, but I know that there's a link with the name, is where I'm going with that. So we'll see if this makes sense. And for the other ones as well who were listening in, if there's a name, if someone's named after him, or there's a child in this world with his name, please do comment and let me know as well. I do feel with him that he was out with the family in some respect, like done his own thing or distanced himself somehow through his addiction or through his mental health. But I feel like he was distanced, and the family did try to help him. Um, and I'm going to say, you know, I think there was questions about him passing it his own hands. So whether that was like accidental passing or taking his own life, that is what I'm feeling with this man. Lacey, don't understand that. Not for me, but thank you very much. Thank you, sweetheart. And you know, please just know that your dad will be there for you as well, Lacey. So please don't be disheartened with that. Audrey, two friends' babies have his name. Okay, now Audrey, would you he would be 28 this year. Okay, Audrey. Now, would you understand where there would be that distanced feeling? So Audrey, he didn't have tattoos, but his friends have had them done. That's fine. Audrey, if you could let me know if there was a distance for him. So either he takes himself out with the family, or it would be like where he mentally couldn't cope. But I feel like there was times where he would just do his own thing, and it's almost like he would be blinkered and he wouldn't be listening to advice he was given or love, that care that he was given. So Audrey, let me know if that makes sense. I see that the tattoos are in his name, which is lovely as well. I can take all of this, and yes, it took his own life. Audrey, I'm going to work with you, sweetheart, okay? I feel, and you fell out. Please let me work with you, sweetheart, because I do feel that's correct information, okay? And you would know that he's a gentle soul, right? So although he had all of those things going on and that he did things in a certain way, he was a gentle soul. There definitely was a love and a heart there, and I know that he has love for you, Audrey, so I just need to make you aware of that as well. Margaret, I see that you say you could take it all as well. I do feel that I'm with Audrey, sweetheart, so listen in though, just in case I've made that link with you and your loved ones coming in as well, but I'll work with Audrey just in the meantime, and see where we go. Audrey, I also feel the way 100%. that's fine. Also feel with the way that he's given me this, Audrey, it's like you really did try very hard to reason with him, to care for him, to show him the way, to give him the support that he needed. I also feel as well, Audrey, that it wasn't in vain as such. Like, I feel he would have times where he would slip back and then go forward again and slip back again. You're saying he had a heart of gold. He absolutely did. I think all his friends and family love him. I feel that he knows how much he's loved, and I think that's one of the things that he needs you to know, is that he knows how much he's loved. And I know that you couldn't always reach him mentally when he was here because of the way things were, but I promise you he now knows how much he was loved. He always knew it, he's saying, I always knew it, but I couldn't hear it at that point in time. So there was nothing, I know that he's telling me that because he's saying it in a way like there was nothing anyone could really do to prevent what had happened. So I know he needs to clear that up as well. Audrey, I also feel like he's shown me jewellery. Now, the way that he's shown me this, it's almost like I don't see it as a ring necessarily or a necklace, but I see that he just shows me jewellery, pieces of jewellery that I think you must have, either that belonged to him or that he must have gave you. And I'm wondering if there's a heart on something. So it's like it's the heart that I'm seeing over everything, but I know it's a piece of jewellery. Margaret, you can still take this. Keep listening, sweetheart. Again, it might just be a double link that I'm doing, so I'm not ruling you out. Audrey, yes, you can understand that. That's perfect. I want to say, Audrey, that falling out or that conflict that was caused at that time, I feel that he takes responsibility for that, but I also feel like you look back on that and you do think, I wonder if I shouldn't have said that, or I wonder if I could have just, bit my tongue and shouldn't have said that, and it might be different. And he's making me feel like it wouldn't have been or couldn't have been. So Audrey, again, he's taken responsibility for what happened as well. Joanne Wood, that's my son Aaron. I can take all of this. I've got a heart necklace he gave me. Sweetheart, I have no doubt that your son's pulling into this energy as well and bringing that evidence to you so that you hear this. And yeah, and absolutely. And when we're coming to coming to the times getting on in the evening, sometimes this can happen. So Joanne, please take his love as well and listen. And you might get other bits that Audrey can't take that you can take. So we'll all just work together on this. Audrey, you said, my God, yes, absolutely feel it, Audrey. I honestly feel such a strong bond between the two of you. And it's like he's showing you, it's like he wishes you could see him now so that you understand that he's well and he looks well and he's glowing and he's got beautiful eyes, Audrey. Now there's something very special about his eyes, definitely a spark in his eye, and I can see that and I can sense that with him, and he needs you to know, this is how well I look, this is how well I look. So he wants to put that image in your mind, Audrey, just so that you know he is at his absolute best where he is. And I know that he feels he couldn't have got to that absolute best being here, because mentally and emotionally he was struggling too much, and it wasn't anyone else's fault. It was just the way it was. Audrey, please verify for me as well, if you can, where you would understand that he loved guitar music, or there was something about a certain, he showed me a guitar, so I don't know that he played the guitar, but I feel like there's definitely a link with guitar. So either he loved it, played it, or there's someone here on the earth that loves it, plays it, that kind of thing. But I definitely know. Or do you seen him in a dream? That's lovely. And yes, amazing eyes. Absolutely. I feel like they're so crystal clear. And when he looked well, he really, really did look well. There's also someone that would have got a drawing done of him. Like, to me it looks like pencil, but I'm not saying it has to be pencil, but someone actually drew him or painted him. So it's not a photograph, it's from a photograph, and I feel like someone painted or drew him as well. It might be pencil actually, just as you see that. So I feel that someone in the family must have that drawing, and keep that close to them as well. Audrey, so I'll wait to see. You can't think of it. Is that the drawing that you're maybe talking about, Audrey, or the guitar? I'm not sure. I've given you too much information too quickly. But I can still hear the guitar. I'm just listening. I can still hear the guitar. So if it is the guitar that you can't think of, then please just keep it with you and know that I've given you that information, okay? Because I'm sure it will make sense at some point as well. Listen, I know also that there was a birthday round about that time as well, either for him or people celebrated his birthday once he had passed, almost like had a drink for his birthday. He was great at art. That makes sense because it was pencil drawn that I was seeing, so that makes sense. So also, Audrey, there would have been a celebration for a birthday, or everyone went out and had drinks in his memory on his birthday, because I can sense that he watches people having a good time and remembering him in good spirits. And that's all he can ask for, sweetheart. That's all he can ask for. Let me tell you this. He is trying so hard from where he is to heal your heart and heal other people's hearts that were devastated by his passing. And he wants to do that. So it's not that he knows instantly that you would say, he doesn't have to, I'll be okay, it's fine, he needs to be okay. He wants you to be okay, and he is happy to do that. The guitar was a song he loved. That's fine, Audrey, as long as you can take it. You will hear that song coming on, and I know that you will think of him. But please know that he's just said, tell her I hold her heart in my hands. So I know that he wants you to know that he has your heart, and he knows that he is so well remembered and loved by you. You're saying yes to the birthday every year. You all go out and have drinks or celebrate, or people celebrate in his memory. He loves that, and you know that he would want that. So when life was really good, it was really good. When things were really tough, they were really tough. There wasn't really a middle ground with him, but he is in the middle ground now. He is in the place where he is at his best, able to be with his loved ones and help heal the hearts that he's left behind. Please allow him to do that. I know that you will. And you will keep remembering him. Just very quickly before I leave you, he's also making me aware of a shirt or t-shirt, maybe even a jumper, that I feel that you might have still. I don't know if you got it made into a cushion or teddy or something, but I do feel like there's something about what he would wear that is still here, and I feel it brings comfort. So maybe that would make sense to you as well, Audrey. Thank you. You're saying I'm amazing. Thank you. It's him that's amazing, and I know that he wants to bring that love towards you, Audrey, just to help lift you up a little bit, like you did so much for him when he was here. So please, please take his love, sweetheart. I'm going to leave you with that now, and know that he is where you are. Okay, please don't ever forget that. Something very quickly about this is random, Audrey, and I do get random things, but he's shown me kicking leaves or walking through. There must be somewhere that you live that's close by you or something, maybe a forest or woods or somewhere that gets lots of fallen leaves. You know, in the season, I feel like there's leaves at his feet. That's what he's shown me. So I don't know if that's when he passed or that's now, but Audrey, yes, he was wearing it. I have it and smell it all the time. Sweetheart, just keep doing that. That's just going to keep you close with him. He understands. The fact that he's mentioned it, it's so that you know he watches you doing this, so that you know he is with you and he hasn't left you at all. So keep doing that, Audrey. It really will help. Just make that connection for you, really. But never worry where he is, because he hasn't left, I promise you. Yes, a field with foxes. Okay, it's just the crunching of the leaves I can hear. So I know that in that area, that's where he must have liked to go, or that's where you can resonate with from him as well. Please take his love, Audrey. I am going to leave you with that now, sweetheart, because I know that we're at the end of our time here tonight. But thank you so much for letting me work with you and him as well. Thank you so much. I don't know if the name Andrew means anything, or Andy, but I hear that coming in just at the end. It might be someone else trying to get in though, but know that I've given you it. Thank you so much. So that brings me to the end tonight. You know, time goes, blink of an eye, time's gone. And I've really enjoyed it. I hope you all have as well. I always like to say thank you for joining me, but not for me, for Spirit. If you didn't come to platforms like this to see mediums work, see what we do with our work, then the spirit world wouldn't get a voice in this world. And that's what's so very important, is giving them that chance to say what they want to say. So thank you so much for doing that. And, you know, I know that they'll all be glad of that. If you obviously didn't get messages tonight, didn't get connection tonight, please don't be disheartened. It's not, there's not a rule about this, there's not a certain way it works. I know I've heard people saying before, you know, those in need will get it, but I think everyone is in need. My way of saying it would be that when I open up to Spirit, it's whoever I can hear or feel first, really, that gets in. And by that, that doesn't mean if you have someone over there that was very quiet or shy, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't get in, because believe me, they would as well. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for giving me that platform to bring their love through to you. Audrey, thank you so much, Karen. That's amazing. You're more than welcome. You're all more than welcome. So I hope to see you again at some point on my website or here or wherever it might be. But I'm sure when our paths are meant to cross, they will cross. So thank you so much, Veronica Jenkins. Lovely evening. Thank you, Veronica. That means a lot as well. Spirit of Love, fantastic messages, Karen. Thank you. Another double love heart, which I love the love hearts. Love hearts and butterflies are my thing. But thank you so much as well, Spirit of Love, for that nice message as well. Terry Wall, lovely message, thank you. And another love heart as well. Thank you, Terry. And Lady Sage, Pamela, now that I know, fabulous evidence, thank you. Trudy Galloway, wonderful readings tonight, thank you. And evidence matters, you know, it's about the evidence. Holly Johnson, such a lovely evening of beautiful messages, and I get my heart and my butterfly. Thank you, Holly, that means an awful lot. Alana, absolutely beautiful messages, I really enjoyed this. Thank you, Karen, you're so welcome, Alana, really welcome. And Benny, Karen is a star. Oh, thank you so much. Actually, might add stars into my little I love butterflies and hearts. Margaret Thompson, do you do private readings? You can go to my website, Margaret. It's www.kdmedium.com. All the information is on there, sweetheart, for readings and my work. Thank you. So I will leave you with that. I will let you have your time to process now. Sometimes, especially for ones who get readings, you know, it can take time to process information. It comes in quite thick and fast sometimes. So I hope you all keep it with you and keep the knowledge with you that your loved ones are there just the same as the other people's loved ones are there. And they stay close by you talking to them and keeping them alive in this world. And that's what it comes down to. So keep doing that. Keep talking to them, letting them know that they mattered here, just like you do to them, and that's why they come through. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again. Thank you and good night.